I remember in high school tryouts.
Because you weren't in the practice because you never made a team. Right. Sorry to hurt your feelings.
I made...
Oh, hell, the mighty survivor of hell. Clapped down from heaven to sail. Holy water that I scooped from the well. Fought tooth and a nail just to prevail. Monster ruthless as I move through the field. Feeling worried in a hurry like a 2-minute drill. To make a couple mil off a lucrative deal. Selling train of thought, name an artist who could derail. You never see it like a nigga hula hooping in jail. I got a friend smart as fuck, but he's stupid as hell. He swear to God ain't real since it ain't no way to...
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 2-Minute Drill Podcast. My name is Jacob. I'm your host. This is my co-host, Cyrus. I hope you guys are having an amazing day on this fine evening. This is episode 6 of the show. And if you guys have been watching the first 5 episodes, you guys are the fucking shit. We got some viewers now. We got some subscribers. We got to build that shit up a little bit more. But if you are watching and if you are new to the show, this is a sports podcast. We will be talking about everything sports related, mainly basketball and football. And I'm really excited to get this started. So, Cyrus, what's going on with you, my friend?
I was feeling great, and then the Lakers plummeted out of the plan. But then the Cowboys made a great move. Jerry finally did something, and you know what? It made up for the Lakers' downfall.
Did you guys just hear that? That is a bandwagon in a nutshell, talking about the Lakers and then shifting to talk about the Cowboys. Are you a Yankees fan too, I'm assuming?
No.
Just right of the big teams, huh, with all those championships.
If I am rooting for baseball, it's definitely the Yanks. Why not?
That makes sense. Yankees, Lakers, and Cowboys. It's very good. That's very, very good.
Triple crown. You have to go with all three if you're gonna.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron fan.
You're a
There's
LeBron
a difference.
fan. All right, fine. I respect that. I'm a LeBron fan as well. So to get started with today's episode, we got a couple topics for you guys. Free agency with the NFL is wrapping up. We're going to talk about last few signings, where a couple more free agents should go, like Odell Beckham Jr. and DeAndre Hopkins. But we're going to start the episode discussing a little bit of NBA, a little bit of basketball. We haven't talked about basketball in a couple episodes. And right off the bat, the season is about to end. And you know what that means? Most valuable player. Who is the MVP of this season so far, Cyrus?
All right, so if we're going back to mid-February, It was hands down Nikola Jokic.
Easily, yeah.
Minus 300 on the odds boards. He was a lock to win. He overcame voter fatigue, and he was on pace to do it. I don't know how he did it. I wouldn't have given it to him, but a lot of people would have. And then the Nuggets crumbled.
They crumbled.
And they are 2-5 in their last 7, and they still have the number 1 seed in the West, but they're not playing as well down the stretch as they used to be.
And you're supposed to be playing your best basketball right now.
Yeah, there's definitely more weight on the end of the season compared to the beginning. I mean, some people have a lot of weight towards the end. You could be the front runner, and then if you have a bad 5-game stretch towards the end, you're immediately out of the front, the front of the race. But right now, Embiid is a huge favorite. He swung the pendulum. He is minus 250. With such few games left, I don't see how you can't give it to Embiid at this point. No matter what Nikola Jokic do, Embiid and the Sixers are on fire right now. Embiid's averaging 36.2 points in the last 10 games. I don't. It's Embiid's award to lose at this point with only 11 games left.
For once, agreed. Normally this is a debate and we go back and forth, but for today's topic, for the MVP talk, you would have to be delusional if you think anybody besides Joel Embiid deserves the MVP right now. He has lost the MVP to Nikola Jokic. 2 seasons in a row, he finished second to Jokic, which was frustrating for Embiid because he wants to win this award. And if you look at his last 10 games, 35 points, 31 points, 42 points, 39 points, 39 points, 34, 36, 38, 31, 37. Not a single time did I say below 30 points.
Yeah.
That is crazy. He's been averaging 36, 10, and 4. And by the way, those 4 assists, also very underrated. Embiid has been a solid playmaker for this team also, and he's just been on a fucking tear. Like you said, Nuggets 2-5 in their last 7 games. That is extreme. That's very significant for the MVP race, especially after the Nuggets lost to teams like the Nets, the Spurs, the Bulls, the Raptors. Very bad losses, winnable games. And during that stretch, Embiid has done well more than enough to surpass him and be the favorite for the MVP. Easily. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm. One thing that people don't know is that Embiid is actually leading the league in points per game.
And he's the first center to lead the league in scoring since fucking Shaquille O'Neal. He's putting up the closest to Shaq numbers. Obviously, Jokic has been an amazing center, but you can't really compare him to a player like Shaq. He's not your traditional center. So Embiid is more of the player like the dominant big men in the past, like Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson. He's giving that vibe in this era.
With a little more shooting.
With a lot more shooting. Yeah, and his defense is there too. He's a great defender, which is also why I would give him the edge over Nikola Jokic, because Jokic comes off as, I wouldn't say he's a bad defender. He'll get stops, he'll get blocks. He's not very efficient as a defender, and he's a little bit lazy.
Yeah.
There was an interesting stat, and depending on how you dissect this stat, it does tell a lot. So in terms of kick balls this season, I don't know if you saw this, Nikola Jokic leads the league in kick balls, which is okay, fine, whatever. He leads the league in kick balls with 45. Last time I checked the stat, it might change. Second, with the second most kick balls, is 17, which means Jokic is just defending, and if you play pickup basketball, you know how this works. He'll just fucking pick up his leg because he's not down to move his body, take a break on defense, so he'll have the energy for offense. And I think that tells a lot, and, the award should be both sides. You have to be giving 100% effort on defense and offense, and you need to be good at defense and offense. And Embiid is a top 5 scorer. He's arguably a top 5 defender. And, it made me realize even more that despite this little drop-off that the Nuggets have over the past few games, it made me even realize more that Embiid is he's very well-deserving for this award. This is the year. This is definitely the year.
Funny thing you say about kickballs, I remember in high school tryouts.
Tryouts, because you weren't in the practice because you never made a team. Right. Sorry to hurt your feelings.
Can I tell you? I've heard from, this is so on topic, I've heard from so many people who were on the team that I was talented enough to make the team, but my IQ was horrendous.
Oh, yeah?
So bad. And if you play basketball with me, it's not the best IQ, but the raw talent is still there.
The raw talent is there?
And I would make first cuts. One time I made second cuts, but I didn't make third.
Wow.
But, so in practice, I remember I would do a lot of kick balls, and my friend Kevin, he would try to get the ball inside, and I would kick the ball, and he hated it. He hated it.
But it's frustrating. Yeah.
The thing with kick balls is that this is a kudos to Jokic.
Yeah.
It's a good play to kick the ball, but it doesn't it prevents a pass, but it doesn't it's not like a turnover where it's
not a turnover.
And it's not like a recorded stat. It's not like a popular recorded stat, but it does make a difference in the long haul. So that's one way I would give the credit to Jokic.
It's lousy.
It's lousy.
You know what I mean?
But it does have a marginal effect. It's still positive.
Yeah.
He is a good defender. If you look at the advanced stats, he's leading almost all of the advanced defensive metrics.
Embiid?
Yeah. No. Jokic.
Oh, Jokic?
I don't know how, but he is.
Yeah, I never said he was a bad defender. Yeah. And he's king advanced stats, so it doesn't surprise me. He leads in defensive and offensive advanced stats. I mean, I don't know how telling that is based on the eye test. Embiid clearly looks like the most valuable. And if you take Jokic off the Nuggets, they suck. But if you take Embiid off of the Sixers, Harden isn't the same player he used to be. Yeah. Harden is not 35.
He's not 2 for 14.
Yeah, what the
a couple
fuck was that? Yeah, that was last night. He sucks. He has bad games. He's a great playmaker. He leads the league in assists, but he can't lead a team the way he used to in Houston. He adjusted his game, and if it's just Harden on that team, they'll have a lot of trouble. But if it's Harden and Embiid, that's a duo that could thrive and potentially win a championship.
Speaking of championship, one problem I have with centers winning the award, a center hasn't won the award and won the title since. Right. What about did Hakeem ever win it?
Hakeem won
MVP.
I think he won MVP the years he won the championship.
Oh, so him, but then him and Shaq, the only two in recent history. So I just don't see how in the modern NBA you can give Embiid and Jokic the nod as the most valuable player, but year after year, like in the past decade, they're not showcasing their valuable the same way guards are, or even forwards are. You have to give it to a two-way wing. I feel like those are the most valuable players in the league. That's why I feel like Giannis deserves it. He's not a wing, but he's a two-way player, and he's technically a forward.
And win a championship.
And he wins championships. LeBron did it. KD did it. Even guards win it, like Curry. I just don't see how you give it to centers. The thing is, the top two
are centers, and it has been for the past few years.
Literally 3 years in a row.
It's crazy.
And Giannis has always finished 2-3. It's always been 1-3, those three. Yeah. Jokic, Embiid,
and it's crazy that they're all Europeans too. Just shows a lot about
times.
Yeah, but I think with the MVP award, everybody knows it. It's a regular season award, but your regular season success has to translate in the postseason, and in my opinion, you're not an MVP if you have a 6 season. Even if you win 60-plus games and you finish the first seed, you're not the MVP if you do that well and then you lose in the first round. Or even if you lose in the second round.
So are you talking about, judging them based off years past, or are you saying...
That's the thing, because I can't predict that the Nuggets are going to, or the Sixers are going to win the finals, but you can definitely take it into account when you look in the past. Like, hey, Giannis has made it to the NBA Finals, and he has proved. Maybe you could use past playoff scenarios as an example. Like, for example, Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, neither of them had made it to a conference finals game. The farthest both of them have gone is the semifinals, and they haven't shown that they could take that next step. And obviously, we have the playoffs here for them to display that. But in the past, they haven't shown that. And although it is a regular season award, that should be a factor because you're not an MVP if you lead your team to 60 wins and then you get bounced in the first round, you get bounced in the second round. At least the conference finals.
You're saying you should account for the first round or even playoffs?
I mean, not when it comes to giving the award for this year because it's a regular season award.
Oh,
but you should account it maybe in years past.
It's
relevant.
It's debatable because it's supposed to be on your play just for the regular season.
Right.
But at the same time, you show your true value in the playoffs.
Exactly. So either adjust the award, which is also extremely hard to do, or just take into account recent playoff success. But then again, yeah, maybe they lost in the first two rounds. Then the contradicting argument is Embiid deserves the MVP. He was the most valuable player in the regular season, and then come playoff time, maybe he'll take the Sixers to the finals. I just don't know, and you can't predict that.
And now they're both the first seed in their respective conference.
The 76ers?
They're third. They're third.
Yeah.
Denver's number one.
Yeah.
They're 3.5 games ahead.
Yeah.
So they have a good chance of, more than anyone in the West, of reaching the finals.
100%. Yeah, no, I like the Sixers to win. I like the Sixers to go to the finals. I mean, I like the Sixers to make it to the finals in the East more than I like the Nuggets to make the finals in the West, just because not only is the West stacked, the West has experienced teams in there, even the Warriors. If the Lakers are the 8th seed and they verse the Nuggets in the first round, I wouldn't rule out the Lakers winning that series, and a lot of people would agree with that. We'll definitely talk about the standings and the seedings and everything.
Speaking of standings,
yeah.
Let's zoom out to a team perspective, not so much players. Let's talk about NBA playoffs.
Yeah? Okay, so before we do go to that, if you were a media member and you were, let's say, someone that didn't have the right to vote, you would be giving your vote to Joel Embiid. As of right now.
I'm a Giannis guy.
Oh, really?
But I understand.
Giannis deserves it. Over Jokic, too, honestly. You can make that argument.
They're the number one seed in the East.
Exactly. So he has the right criteria, and we may be getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because although it is the end of the season right now and we're like totally that last stretch, there's still about 10 games left. We don't know what's going to happen in these 10 games, but based on the way things are looking, I'm assuming the Sixers and Embiid is going to continue staying hot. And even if Jokic bounces back, puts up triple-doubles, finishes with the lock for the first seed and wins games, I think it's too late. It was a very slim window where people were saying, okay, Jokic might break the voters fatigue thing, and then he dropped off, and now everybody's attention is towards Embiid. So even if things change, I think the media is already convinced it should go to Embiid.
No, I think with this, we're this close to the end of the season. Like I said, it's his award to lose, and got to give it to Embiid.
Let's see what happens, my friend. Let's see what happens. Moving on.
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
The playoff picture is starting to take shape.
It is.
Some people are on the bubble. Some people are locked in at number one in their respective conference. But it could change a lot in the next few weeks.
Just like that.
What are your thoughts on how the playoff picture will look? What do you think the seedings will be? What do you think the matchups will be?
Okay, so let's first put our focus on one conference, and I say we should look at the Western Conference first. And I'll tell you what the seeding looks like right now, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what I think it's going to look like at the end of the season, and we'll take it from there. So, looking at the Western Conference, right now the first seed obviously is the Nuggets. Then it's the Grizzlies, Kings, Suns, Clippers, Warriors at 6, Mavericks 7, Timberwolves 8, Thunder 9, 10 Jazz, 11 Lakers. Mm-hmm. And then the Pelicans are 12, and they're like right there also. So it's literally a range of 1 through 12. 8 of those teams are going to make the playoffs. The way the top 4 seeds are going to look, in my opinion, Nuggets are going to stay where they are. Grizzlies are going to stay where they are. It's going to be close. I want the Kings to surpass the Grizzlies, but John Moran is also about to come back. So I think it's going to be Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings. Whether or not KD comes back, I think Suns stay at 4.
Not in the regular season. Not in the regular season.
He's not going to come back in the regular season.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, whether or not he does, I think the Suns still finish at 4. I think the Clippers finish at 5. And I think the Warriors stay at 6. So I think that order, 1 through 6, stays the way it is right now. May or may not be minor, insignificant changes, but that's the way it looks to me. 7 and 8, we'll break down how the play-in tournament looks, but I think with all those play-in teams from 7 through 12, I think the 2 teams that make it, 7 seed will be the Mavericks, 8 seed will be the Lakers. What do you think of that? And then the Wolves miss the playoffs. Wolves, Thunder, Jazz, Pelicans all miss the playoffs.
Okay.
And that's just me honestly being an NBA fan because I prefer the Mavericks and Lakers over those other teams because they have exciting players. But at the same time, I think those are the teams that will ultimately make it out because they have the players that will step up in the play-in tournament as well.
Okay.
What do you think?
All right, so let me just look at the standings. Okay, so obviously I agree on the Nuggets, Grizzlies, Kings, Suns. Those are locked and loaded in that order.
I could see the Clippers potentially finishing as the 4th seed, but
I'll tell you why now. So
they've been pretty hot recently. So
have you already forgotten who they signed?
Russell Westbrook?
Yeah.
And I think they're starting to figure out how to use Russell Westbrook.
So right now they're 5-6. I'm pretty sure they were like 0-4 when he was on the team.
And then they flipped the script.
So they're treading positively right now, but still it's Russ. I think
he's starting to learn his role.
He's never learned his role.
I think he's leaving. So teams are leaving him open outside of the 3-pointer, and Tyronn Lue is trying to figure out how they could take advantage of that because he's always going to be left open. Running for the boards. He's going to have energy coming in from the 3-point line. He's been getting a lot of offensive rebounds.
You're saying chase your own miss? He should change.
No. Like, he's not going to shoot the shot. But, let's say he's in the corner and he's wide open and Kawhi Leonard shoots the shot while he's open. And, whatever, whether or not his defender's in the paint waiting for that rebound, Russ has so much energy regularly and coming from the 3, running into the paint. That's why he's been getting so many offensive rebounds. That's
a foul waiting to happen. It's an over the back.
Yeah. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it is Westbrook, but recently he has been limiting the mistakes. There was even a game he had zero turnovers. Maybe.
But is that his role? Is that Russell's
role? Is that his role? That's a question.
He's touching the glass.
And is it sustainable? I don't know. He should be always attacking the basket and everything, but it sounds like you're not hot on the Clippers.
I'm not on the Clippers. The Warriors are a game and a half.
They suck on the road. It's crazy.
I think maybe the worst.
8-29 on the road, bro. What?
And even with Curry back in the last 8 or so games, they're not winning those games.
Yeah. No, they have a problem on the road. I don't know what it is. I watched them play. I'm like, what is it? They're not trying on defense.
I just can't see the Warriors healthy. I know they're struggling, but still the Warriors healthy. I can't see them not making a good run to end the season. I can definitely see the Clippers making a bad run. And I just feel like the Warriors are going to overtake the Clippers for the 5th spot.
So you think the Warriors are going to finish off strong?
Yeah, I think they are.
And do you think, I agree.
I just can't trust the Clippers, let alone with Russ.
Also a big factor is what these matchups are for the next few games and who they're versing exactly. But assuming, similar difficulty with the schedule, I can see the Warriors bumping up. They're currently a game and a half behind the Clippers, so there might have to be a little bit of flip-flop there. Clippers are going to have to lose some games. Warriors are going to have to win some games. But what if the Warriors do finish off the season and they don't have Andrew Wiggins in the playoffs? Do they have does that limit their ceiling? If you remember last year, Wiggins.
So you're saying once they reach the playoffs.
Once they reach the playoffs, whatever seed they are, if they don't have Andrew Wiggins.
No, if we're talking playoffs, I am not putting any stock in the Warriors.
Oh yeah,
I can't. Them on the
people
road,
had the same opinion last year.
You got to win a road game in a playoff series.
Multiple.
Yeah, I mean. Technically, you don't have.
Well, you only have to win one. I mean, if they have
steal a game, if you could steal one game and then win your home games, you have a good chance. Yeah. But if you want to have a really good chance, you got to win 2 games on the road.
Exactly.
But yeah, you can't trust the Warriors in that road.
And they can't just depend on their home court to win a championship. They won a championship in Boston, didn't they?
Yeah.
And last year, they were good on the road.
Game
6. Game 6. I don't know what's going on this year with the Warriors. I don't know if it's the lack of effort. I don't know if I want to put blame on Steve Kerr because it doesn't make sense that one night you're balling out and you're having a spectacular performance in the Chase Center, and then 2 games later you're in Houston or another random city and you're just not playing to that standard anymore. I don't know what it is with the Warriors. I don't know what they're fucking feeding him in these away games, but something's up.
Many people forgot. You know what the something's up is?
What?
It's the Draymond Jordan Poole incident.
You think so? But how does that affect specifically road games?
I think it just changed the dynamic and the chemistry of that team, and they're just somehow struggling because of it. What other reason could it be? You can't just immediately drop off for no reason. The talent's still there. I know Clay's not the same defender. Draymond Green's not the same player, but Jordan Poole's ascending. They have reserve guys. The big 3's still there.
They really only lost since they got Gary Payton back. They really only lost Otto Porter Jr.
They had the depth still. I don't know. I think just they're not as unified as they used to be.
It's crazy because of
that incident.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know how much of a factor that incident is, but I think it's crazy that home they're 29-7.
I'll tell you.
And then away they're 8-29. That makes no sense.
Did you see the play between Jordan Poole and Draymond Green a week and a half ago?
Oh no! Tell me what happened again.
Jordan Poole, Draymond Green was calling for the ball, and Jordan Poole wouldn't pass it, and then Draymond Green just pouts, and then when he's looking away, and the second he looks away, Jordan Poole passes it towards him, and the ball's like rolling past him, and Draymond saw it, and he could have gotten it, but then it's a turnover. He doesn't even go back in transition. He's just pouting.
Maybe
it's the chemistry's not there.
Maybe something's going on with the chemistry. Draymond Green, I know you have your own podcast, The Draymond Green Show. So if you're watching this, if you're listening, feel free to make your way to the 2-Minute Drill podcast. I have a seat for you right over here, and you can explain to us.
Explain yourself.
Tell us what's going on, because we don't know, and the fans need to know why the Warriors suck on the road. I mean, I would say you have the answers, but if you had the answers, you guys would fucking win games on the road. So that's that.
All right, let's talk about the plan.
Yes.
All right,
so 1 through 6 we got out of the way.
1 through 6.
Fine.
And we already know what you think for the plan.
Yeah.
But so the plan, the 7 to 11 spot, meaning the Mavs to the Lakers, are separated by just 1 game.
Holy shit.
The race is so close.
Holy
tight.
shit.
And if you include the Warriors, that's another half game right there.
And if you look at the Pelicans,
Another half game right there.
Right
It's so close. What is that? 7 teams that are like...
Bro, you can... Yeah.
If one of these teams wants to either enter the plan or enter the 6th seed or even just stay in the plan and not be eliminated, just go on somewhat of a run. None of these teams are winning a bunch of their games.
One of these teams need to go on a run, and they're going up against each other too.
Listen, none of them want to win. I'm telling you.
None of them want to win.
No, listen, they don't want it bad enough. I'm looking at the last 10.
Or maybe they suck.
I'm looking at the records of each game, of each team, their last 10 games. The Warriors are 4-6, mid. Mavs 4-6.
The Mavericks have been really mid. And the only reason I'm rooting for them is if Luka gets healthy and Luka and Kyrie just go up.
We'd love to see that.
But the Mavericks have been very mid.
I know. And then speaking of mid, Timberwolves are 5-5.
No
Thunder are
7-3.
Their form is good. 7-3. Jazz 5-5. Lakers 6-4. Pelicans 4-6. They're all mid for the most part.
They're in that seeding for a reason. So
none of them. If you truly want to make the plan or even exit the plan and go to the 6th seed, just go on a run, suck it up, and do something about it.
Fucking win games.
7 of 10, not just 6 of 10 or 5 of 10 or 4 of 10. Go 7. It's not that hard.
Exactly, and reasons like Anthony Davis sitting the second half of a back-to-back is why the Lakers aren't going on runs, because they have been solid, they have been sharp, they've built momentum. Oh, we don't want AD to re-aggravate his issue. You guys gotta beat the fucking playoffs. You guys gotta win every single game. You're sitting about against the Rockets. Like, bro, come on. Treat every game like a playoff game right now.
That was their easiest win, and they thought that they could win without their best 2 players. And
it's gonna bite them in the ass.
Get them in the ass.
It's gonna cost them till the very last game, and hopefully if LeBron plays the last 5 games of the season, I have full confidence that the Lakers will find a way. But what if the Lakers keep winning? But what if also the Jazz keep winning, the Thunder and the Wolves keep winning, and then the Mavs? Like, what if there's no drop-off?
Okay.
And the Lakers do everything they can.
All right, so the Mavs are going to stay at the 7. I think the Warriors stay at the 7. Thunder are going to fall out. Jazz fall out because the Lakers are going to get LeBron back. And they are 9-7 since they made that first trade for Russell. Right. So they have somewhat of a good form.
Yeah.
And LeBron's going to come back. They've already said it.
Listen, LeBron comes back.
He's going to take that one of those playing spots, and maybe even the 6, probably not, but still they're going to make the plan.
I'm not ruling out the 6. They're going.
You know what? I'm going to leave the Jazz in because I'm going to leave the Thunder in. I'm going to take the Jazz out, and the Lakers are going to take that final spot, and then Pelicans are going to make it back.
You don't have the Mavericks making the playoffs either?
I don't have the Mavericks. I have them making the plan. Actually, they're a half game behind. Fuck it. I think the Clippers are going to fall into
Is it Miami?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
True Westbrook hater over here. Holy shit.
I'm a realist. I'm not a hater.
You're a realist.
I have 10, 15 years of body of work. We all know what he's like. We all know the impact he has on this team.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So 7 through 10, you think Thunder, Jazz, Wolves, and Lakers. Mm-hmm. No Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder might sneak in a spot, bro. Shea's been tough. He's been putting up 30 fucking points a game every game.
Let's move to the East.
Let's move to the East. Yeah. Okay, fine. Also, before we move on to the East, some matchups I would love to see in the Western Conference. First off, Warriors-Grizzlies would be sick.
Like, barring any injury, we're assuming that everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Warriors-Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Shit, man. Who else? Mavs, Suns. Hopefully Mavs find a way to make it. Mavs, Suns.
I wouldn't even mind Mavs, Grizzlies.
I wouldn't mind Mavs, Grizzlies either.
That's even possible.
Honestly, Grizzlies against any team would be fun because regardless, Grizzlies are going to talk shit. But I want Warriors, Grizzlies because of the fucking Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green. They versed last year in the playoffs. I want all the chirping. The more they chirp, the more we chirp over here.
Minimum 7 techs.
Minimum 7.
Those two in that series.
Oh, minimum 7 techs. Yeah, technicals, 100%. They both have already got suspended by surpassing 16 technicals, and if they fucking clash in a 7-game series, that is basketball heaven right there, so we got to see that happen. Suns Mavericks, they had a sick matchup last year. I'd love to see that again. Adding Kyrie, adding KD. That'll be fun to watch. Also, it's a conversation we should have on another episode. Don't sleep on the Kings, bro. Obviously, they're new to the competition, but...
So you're stealing my...
I don't think I said that 2 episodes ago. I'm trying to get on the same page as you, man. Listen, the Kings look good, bro. I'm telling you.
15,000 to win the title.
Stick it right now. Boom, $100. Come on.
2 stars, third in the West.
Yeah.
They have a puncher's chance.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're a regular season team.
I think they can, yeah.
And given that the odds that they'll pay out if you're a better, juicy odds.
Yeah, juicy odds. And although there's the lack of playoff experience, I think Mike Brown, he coached LeBron and the Cavs way back when. He was with the Warriors. He just won a championship. Mike Brown's championship pedigree and his experience will be enough to give the Kings at least one playoff series win. But I don't know how far they're going to go. But Kings finally figured it out after being in poverty for 20 years.
Will be overcome by the fact that they have the most efficient offense in NBA history.
But their defense might cost them.
Yeah, but...
Okay.
They'll outscore some games.
We'll see what the Kings do. I like what they're doing there. Eastern Conference, right now we got Bucks at the 1 seed, Celtics at the 2, 76ers, Cavs, Knicks, 3, 4, 5. Brooklyn Nets at 6, Heat at 7, Hawks at 8, Raptors 9, Bulls 10, Wizards 11. Okay, Wizards realistically are probably not going to make it, but yeah, okay, so that's how it's looking. Right now, the way I see things planning out, Bucks 1 seed, I think the Celtics have been a little bit questionable recently, and they've been 5-5 in the last 10 games. I think they continue that trend of being, not as good as they used to be. And they're going to drop to the 3rd seed. So I Bucks, then Sixers, who are going to bounce up to the 2nd seed, then the Celtics, then the Cavs, and then the Knicks. So it's going to be Knicks versus Cavs. As a Knicks fan, I'm a little fucking nervous. Brooklyn Nets, I think...
It's a good storyline because we were going to get Donovan Mitchell and we didn't.
Whole thing. I think as a Knicks fan's dream would be for the Knicks to fucking beat Donovan Mitchell in the first round, send him out, say, we don't need your ass, we're good with RJ Barrett. So watching Stephen A. Smith talk about that would also be hysterical. But then the vice versa is watching Donovan Mitchell ball out in MSG, drop 40 in fucking Madison Square Garden and be like, hey, you guys could have had this, man. Sorry. But that's what happens.
Listen, if Trey Young could do that,
that's why I'm nervous because Trey Young did it.
Fuck Trey Young. And then we overcame that. He's like, yeah, watch this.
Oh my god.
And then Mitchell's better.
Bro, we've seen Mitchell in the playoffs too. Like he's been fucking he's a hooper when it comes to the fucking big stage. So we'll see how that goes. But moving on from the Knicks at 5, the Nets are currently the 6th seed, and I think the Nets fall out to the play-in. The Heat bump up to the 6th seed. So Heat 6, Nets 7, and then 8 Hawks, Raptors, Bulls around there. But I think the Nets will somehow, I don't know how, but the Nets will win a play-in game. They will make the playoffs at the 7th seed.
The Nets?
Yes. And the 8th seed, after trading for Patrick Beverley, the team honestly does look really solid. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. They look really sharp. I think the Bulls take that last spot.
Okay.
Over the Hawks, over the Raptors, over the Wizards.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
All right, so Bucks locked and loaded number 1,
yep.
Sixers number 2. Actually, I'm going to give the Sixers' recent form a nod over the Celtics' mediocrity recently. So I'm going to put Sixers at number 2.
Oh, you also take Sixers at number 2?
Celtics number 3. Cavs have just been a good team.
Cavs and the Cavs, yeah.
Probably the best defensive team in the league. Got to give them number 4. Knicks, they're just trailing the Cavs too far. For them
They're 3 games behind. It's not realistic. I would love to say
the gaps are very.
If the Knicks were 1 game behind, my Knicks fan would say they're going to take the 4 seed, but it's just not realistic. Mm-hmm. They're going to finish as the 5 seed,
right, so
which is still great.
Knicks and 5. The Nets have been overperforming.
They've been doing pretty solid without
superstars.
Yeah, as Mikal Bridges being their best player, for them to be playing like this is pretty promising. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but I'm going to take the Heat's experience over
for sure
the recent success, the lucky success of the Nets.
It's luck, yeah.
The Nets fall to the 6. And then Hawks are the most average team of all time.
Yeah.
I gotta fact check this. I don't think I saw a stat. They haven't lost or won 3+ games all season ever.
Wow.
They've either won a game, lost a game, won 2 games, lost 2 games. They've been mid the entire season.
Mid.
They haven't been on a 3-game losing streak or 3-game win streak the entire season.
Mid. They're very mid. Yes.
Yeah, so it's only appropriate that they finish at number 8.
So
bad. See the standings.
They're the definition of average. That's for sure. What about the Raptors? They've been aight. They have a solid team.
I think they're a first-round exit.
I think the Nets are going to be a first-round exit. I think the Heat, if they verse... Honestly, I'd be down for a Heat Celtics first round. Heat would give them a run for their money, Boston. They'd give Boston a run for their money. They went to 7.
You were close. You were very close.
They were one shot away from making the NBA Finals.
Why would he shoot that three-pointer?
You don't think he should have shot that? It was Boston. What if he made it? They'd be in the NBA Finals. They probably would have lost the Warriors.
Still, if I kick the ball with my right foot and I swish it,
I don't know.
Should I be doing that?
I mean, he was open, so it was not a bad shot.
I understand what you're going through. I don't know how they got the ball. Maybe they stole it or they
Tatum might have been something. Yeah.
Listen, but yeah, he had the momentum. He's just not the guy. He doesn't shoot three-pointers.
Baller?
Yeah, he's not.
You see him in the bubble, though?
He's not notable, but a three-pointer.
He's not the guy.
He shot 2 feet in. Fine. Three-pointer.
I know, but I do think that
listen, when that happened, I'll never forget. I was confident he made it, that he would make it, but then in hindsight, I remembered who the player was.
What, like mid-air, you're like, oh, wait, it's Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck. Yeah, no, knowing that it was Jimmy Butler, maybe he should have taken that shot, but you're an NBA player, you're wide open for a chance to take the lead to make the NBA Finals. Not a bad shot. Looking back, it fucking haunts him, but for this season... Record aside, numbers aside, Jimmy, they still have that same team. They didn't look amazing this season, but Jimmy Butler is a playoff guy. He elevates his game in the playoffs, as you should as an NBA player. He likes the bright lights. He likes performing well. He'll give the Celtics a run for their money. I don't think they're necessarily going to beat them in the series, but I wouldn't be surprised if that series goes to 7. Celtics have been struggling a little bit. I'm not necessarily saying Tatum has been off their game, but the team as a whole just hasn't been as sharp as they normally are. Heat have been trending up. This is hypothetically if they do match up. I would love to see that matchup. Who do you think is going to finish playing tournament depending on how it goes through? Who will be the 7 and 8 seed for you?
The 7-8?
Yeah.
I had the Nets going into the 6 seed, and I had the Heat going into 6. Nets coming into the 7.
And you think the Nets will make it in the play-in tournament?
Yeah, I think,
I think they can win a play-in game. If they're a 7 or 8, all they need is one play-in game, and I think they'll do it. If they fall to a 9 and 10, which isn't going to happen because they're fucking 39 and 32.
So if they're the 7, I have them falling to 7. Then they will play the Hawks. Is that how it works?
If Hawks stay at 8, yeah.
The Trae Young's been there, done that. He's won a series before.
I feel like the Hawks might beat them.
Yeah, they've done it before.
And then it would be Nets versus the winner of Bulls Raptors. So let's say the Bulls beat the Raptors. Nets Bulls. Bulls.
I'll give it to Nets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fuck with the Bulls, and I think talent-wise, the Nets might fall out.
Honestly, can I tell you?
The Nets might fall out.
I don't give a fuck about any of these teams. They're not exciting.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
We're only caring about the top 2 teams that actually have a
play situation in the West, in the East is not as interesting as
the West is much more exciting because we know who's going to make the play-in tournament. It's just a matter of who makes the playoffs now because the Wizards and the Pacers are way out of reach right now. But moving on, before we transition to the next topic, what are some matchups you'd like to see in the Eastern Conference?
The only thing I'm excited for is Cavs Knicks. It's going to be a movie.
It's going to be a movie. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
It's storyline filled. It's a gritty matchup. 2 of the top 2 or 3 defensive teams in the league. The pace is very slow. The points per game is low, but
it's going to be gritty games, back and forth. Yeah. That shit's going to 7. I like the Cavs.
As long as Julius Randle doesn't have the ball in his hands, final possession, then I'll be happy.
And that's why we have Jalen Brunson. So as long as Jalen Brunson is healthy and he's playing in those games, hopefully Julius Randle won't cost us much because I'll cut him some slack. He just dropped fucking 57 points last night in the loss, and he showed us he's very capable and he's heating up at the right time. So I think we're going to see a good version of Julius Randle come playoff time, and I hope and I look forward to him elevating his game because he doesn't have all the weight on his shoulder the way he did against the Hawks, because now he does have the likeness of a Jalen Brunson who can score at will and make clutch shots, and that'll put less pressure on Randle, and he could do his thing. And if things, if chemistry is working and the Knicks are in a rhythm,
they're in a rhythm right now.
I think they could beat the Cavs.
Rhythm right now,
I think they could beat the Cavs.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I'm definitely rooting for the Knicks.
As much as Mitchell is hot, I don't know. I mean, there's Garland, there's Mobley, there's Allen. They have a lot of talent.
I think the Knicks are very... It's going to be very close.
That's going to be the series of the first round, no matter East, West, whatever it is. That's enough NBA talk. Before we wrap up the episode, we're going to...
Switch leagues, we're going to go to that.
Switch leagues, NBA to the NFL.
We're going to talk about my favorite topic of the episode.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Brandon Cooks is now in Dallas.
Okay. Not a receiver.
And Jerry Jones finally did something.
Yeah?
He's known for not spending on other players. He's known for 2 things. Drafting good players and re-signing his own players that he drafted. He doesn't he doesn't sign free agents from other teams. And he already did this week.
Yeah,
signs Stephon Gilmore, and then
that was big time.
And then he doubles down and signs Brandin Cooks, who is such a good fit. He's a really dependable receiver. I'm looking at his numbers: 6 seasons in 5 years where he's had 1,000+ yards.
And he's had 1,000+ yards on 4 different teams. 4 different quarterbacks.
And you know exactly where you're going to get. He's going to get you 1,000 yards, and he's done it with all types of quarterbacks, whether it's Breeze and Brady or even Jared Goff and Davis Mills. And who's the other guy on the Texans? Oh, Tyrod Taylor.
Holy shit, he's throwing the ball to him at some point.
With Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, that's fucking bad, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's fast, averaging like 3.5 yards a reception. And
I think he's a reliable receiver for them.
He's a good complement to CeeDee Lamb. Gallup obviously moves to the 3 spot, and that wide receiver room is looking really good. And what I'm really happy is that they strengthened their weakness, which was the offense. They've been doing a lot to help the defense.
But I see you say that, but the Cowboys were putting up like 35 points a game in the regular season.
Yeah, but then Dak showed his true colors in the playoffs. Yeah. Pick after pick.
No, but then it makes you realize that Dak would play better if he had. This is kind of like an Amari Cooper replacement.
He had Amari Cooper.
And that's why when there's CD on one side of the field, but then there's Michael Gallup on the other side, it's going to be a little bit tough always getting the ball to CD, sometimes getting the Gallup. Now that there's Cooks and CeeDee Lamb.
Very similar players.
The defense is going to have to give attention to both sides of the field because Cooks is he's a playmaker. He'll, bring you down the field drive after drive. But I think the problem with the Cowboys that we're not realizing is they lost Dalton Schultz. He's Dak's security blanket.
Here's the thing.
He's his guy.
They lost Dalton Schultz, but I think they're going to use their pick to grab a stellar tight end. I think they're going to do that. Yeah. Or defensive end, but we'll see. I'm hoping tight ends. But listen, they already have enough weapons. You can give Dak all the weapons he wants. He's still going to show that despite having this plethora of receiver talent or even skill player talent with the running backs, he's not going to get it done when it matters most. He's going to turn the ball over. He did it last game against the Niners.
Yeah. I think Cooks will give him a chance to prove that he's more than just that guy that throws picks. Let's see how their chemistry looks. I don't want to say he's an Amari Cooper replacement because also they both are. He's heading towards the end of his career. He's still a very capable wide receiver, and he's going to have to go right to work. This is the season. They need to make shit happen. These are their weapons coming into the next year, and if CD and Brandin Cooks are at the top of their game and Dak is throwing a lot of interceptions in a weak NFC conference, the Cowboys can make it far, but then again, I'm talking to a Cowboys fan right now, so we're both a little delusional. So if we're being realistic, Brandin Cooks is not going to change the Dallas Cowboys roster.
Absolutely will.
But
I think so.
It's not going to fucking flip the switch.
It was a very cheap move they gave up.
I respect the move. It was a good move, but it's not fucking D-Hop or it's not fucking Odell. So
Hey.
Hey, cut. This kid, he thinks we're getting D-Hop. He thinks the Cowboys are getting D-Hop. Hell no.
Listen,
no way.
The market is soft.
We're not getting OBJ because OBJ is going to want to go to a team that'll be the main focus, and he has control.
No.
Does D-Hop have a no trade clause?
I don't know.
No, they're just going to ship him to wherever.
That went to the Rams. I don't think he necessarily wants to be the guy.
Yeah, but then he goes and but there was just Robert Woods got hurt, and then it was
that was after.
Yeah, fine.
That was after.
And then, but it was him and Cooper Kupp. That's a good point. It's tough. I still don't think he's going to go to the Cowboys.
I'm listening to the reports from ESPN. It states that the Cardinals want hefty compensation, including a premium day 2 pick and more.
For DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah. A possible trade is Gallup and a second rounder.
Not bad.
For D-Hop.
That's a good trade. I think
it's probable,
that's a good package.
But it's possible. And if that happens, then...
Then we'll have a different discussion about the Dallas Cowboys. I would actually even say that they're potentially favorites in the West.
They turned their wide receiver 3 into a new wide receiver 1. They have 2 wide receiver 1s and a solid wide receiver 2. That wide receiver room is looking dangerous.
Listen, we would have a totally different conversation right now about the Dallas Cowboys if DeAndre Hopkins goes there, but another landing spot for DeAndre Hopkins that I would love. First of all, as a Giants fan, obviously I would love DeAndre Hopkins to join our team, but as a realistic Giants fan, it might not happen. I was talking about last week how Lamar Jackson is lacking that wide receiver 1, and the Ravens got to make a move. Obviously, they didn't sign
love to see
Lamar to a long-term contract, but obviously they would show a little bit more promise and, more, I don't know what the word is, but more excitement for Lamar Jackson knowing that they gave him a weapon. It'll give more faith to Lamar knowing that they gave him a player. So I think the Ravens would be a great fit. But one interesting destination for DeAndre Hopkins, in my opinion, would be the Cleveland Browns joining up with Deshaun Watson once again. They were teammates in Houston. They had a good connection. They had good chemistry. Enter DeAndre Hopkins in that Cleveland Browns offense alongside Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, and Deshaun Watson, who's finally getting a rhythm back and he's getting a groove and he's been on the field now. He's had some games under his belt. I think it would be pretty cool, and I think that the Browns should pursue him because it would be interesting.
The market
for
is
sure.
soft. Many teams are going to go for him. The Patriots might even throw a package.
Pats might even go for him. They have Juju. I think if they get D-Hop, that's a solid wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
It'll elevate Mac Jones' game.
It's a toss-up where he goes.
It's at the end of the day, it's what the Cardinals packages and what they want. I think a second rounder and a replacement wide receiver, kind of like Gallup and a second rounder, is good. I don't think Jerry Jones would be willing to give that up. I think the Giants are proactively looking at these veteran wide receivers. They could use one. I know the Giants got Paris Campbell. They just got Darren Waller. They're probably going to draft a receiver, but I think a wide receiver like D-Hop or Odell Beckham can fit in that offense still and be a significant part of that offense. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I think that D-Hop will inevitably get traded. He's not going to start next season with the Cardinals. And Odell is going to have to sign sooner than later. So when it comes to D-Hop, it's the matter of what the Cardinals want in terms of a package. And in terms of Odell, it's going to be one factor, maybe, okay, competitive team that's a Super Bowl contender. But he wants money. He wants to get paid. So it's whatever team is willing to give him $10, $15 million. And there's probably like 2-3 teams that are willing to do that. Maybe Buffalo? What do you think?
Buffalo isn't looking for a receiver.
They're not.
They're looking for a running back.
I mean, they kind of realized that it wasn't. They can't just throw the Diggs all day, man.
They have Gabe Davis, and they have not.
Gabe Davis didn't really show up. He's not so reliable.
I don't think.
Put Odell Beckham on the other side of Stephon Diggs. That's scary, bro. That's scary.
Their only problem is running into the Bengals and the Chiefs. Their
like it has been.
chart is stellar.
Even the Dolphins at
top 5
Jets,
in
bro.
top 5 in points. Yeah.
It's tough. The Bills should make a move if they want to get over the hump because, bro, I'd rather the Bengals, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins.
Okay.
I'm saying I'd rather them than the current Bills wide receiver room.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't matter who he's throwing to. So the Bills should try to get one of those wide receivers. I think one more destination potentially for Odell Beckham is the Minnesota Vikings. LSU boys, him and Justin Jefferson on the same field, went to the same college. They have that chemistry, they're boys. Kirk Cousins is a pretty solid quarterback.
That's the thing.
I want to say he's top 10, but
it's similar to the Dak situation.
Right.
You could add all the receivers you want.
It's
but
Kirk Cousins.
If the guy pulling the trigger is Kirk Cousins,
Kirk Chains, baby.
You have your answer right there. But hey, listen, there are other signings, other moves in the NFL world. Let's move on to Adam Thielen and the Panthers.
And we'll wrap it up there.
There. He's on the Panthers, 3 years, $25 million.
Which is also why I wouldn't mind Odell going to the Vikings because Thielen is also not there anymore. But so he's on the Panthers now. They got a receiver after trading DJ Moore.
I don't think he's good at all. He's 33. He had a down year, and then he had a previous down year the year before.
He's a touchdown threat, though.
But then he'll give you like 700 yards.
All right, not bad. I
think his touchdowns are volatile. I don't think he could get you 11, 12, but then he also can get you 4.
It's all on targets, man. He gets a lot of end zone targets because he's a red zone threat, but you're right. He could easily just finish with 3 touchdowns next year. But did you see what Adam Thielen said recently after he signed with the Panthers?
Yeah, I think he has to get his head.
He needs to get his head screwed on, right? This guy is tweaking. I don't know what planet you are on, Adam Thielen, but you really said that the Carolina Panthers can compete for a Super Bowl this season when you guys just traded for the number 1 overall pick.
They don't even have a quarterback.
You don't even know who your quarterback is, and you're saying this nonsense. I don't know what he's on. He was probably chilling with Aaron Rodgers too much at the Darkness Retreat or something like that because he's tripping, man. He's tripping. I don't know.
Yeah.
Any promise with the Panthers? They also signed Miles Sanders. You see any outlook for them in the next few years, maybe?
Their offense is treading in the right direction.
For sure.
But the defense is still a lot to be desired, and they're years away.
Yeah.
They don't even have a quarterback.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Once the draft is done and we get to that stage of the offseason, and if they get a Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, obviously we also have to see them play. Then there's definitely more to discuss. But it's very rare that a rookie quarterback will take you to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady did that, but I don't think CJ Stroud or Bryce Young is Tom Brady. There's nobody like Tom Brady. And with that being said, that is a wrap for the 2 Minute Drill podcast, episode number 6. Thank you guys for watching.
Guys,
Hopefully you guys
smash that like button.
Yeah.
Yo, whether you want to say something good about it or bad about it, leave a review in the comment section. We love to hear from our fans.
Yes. Leave a comment. We need some comments. We want some
Whatever it
feedback,
is.
please.
Please, whatever you want to say, please say it.
So
you can even curse the fuck out of him.
yeah,
I don't
even
even
shit on me. Think I'm a loser.
Make fun of his mom.
Herb. Don't make fun of my mom. That's not nice. My mother is beautiful. She's amazing. Shout out mom. Shout out mom. But yeah, make sure you guys let your neighbors know. Let your dogs know. Let your grandma know. All of them. Tell them about the 2 Minute Drill podcast.
Security guard know.
And everybody, just let your whole neighborhood know that the 2 Minute Drill podcast is out. We're the best sports podcast on the planet. We appreciate you guys for watching. We will see you guys in the next episode. And peace.
Every time I look, every time I hope.